All right, welcome to Make HOAG Money for Monday this week, November the 28th. Excuse me, my goodness. It's good to see everyone. Welcome back. This is the CFTC disclaimer. We should know it by heart by now. A lot of risk in futures trading. You can lose more than your initial investment because these are leveraged products. We should only be using money we can afford to lose, which we could consider risk capital. We're not going to be suggesting anybody purchase or sell anything that we're doing here today. Everything we do today is for educational purposes. Any past performance is certainly not indicative of future results. This is a live market. It is true that hypothetical or simulated performance results do have certain limitations. Most of all, no accountability, no consequence, and no rules. We are, again, not suggesting the purchase or sale of anything that we're doing here. No guarantee of success or failure. The rules for Make HOAG Money: kindness and respect above everything. We do all have our own opinions, and our opinions are what makes these markets so good. We can have a couple of people unable to talk if you want to. We're not going to force anybody to, but of course, anybody is welcome to. We're all going to be involved in the decisions, and of course, context of your decision is going to be helpful. You will be able to share your charts if you opt to be able to speak. We're going to use the chat rooms in Zoom as well as on YouTube to discuss trades. We're going to focus on the E-mini S&Ps for opportunities for now. Of course, that could be one of your feedback or suggestions for Make HOAG Money, is to expand the number of products that we actually trade. We're not going to trade just to trade, and of course, we're not going to be taking losing trades, which is, of course, a joke. We all know that losing trades are a part of trading. We have to accept them, cut them, and move along. And of course, we're always looking for feedback and more information on what you'd like to see with Make HOAG Money. You can always send those suggestions, feedback, and constructive criticism to jhoagland, JHOAGLAND, at topstep.com. Let's get ready to rumble. Here we go. Here's the platform. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're late to the party trying to get short today. Do we think the market is going to continue to the downside? Will the market all of a sudden turn around and head higher? Will we find out who shot JR? All of this and more as we watch as the market turns. It's good to see everybody. We are glad to see everybody back here today. A few folks here saying hello in YouTube. Rusty Golfers, Sonny, good to see you. Mango Heist. Couldn't find a good location, so stayed flat all day, but didn't force any trades. So happy. That's a great job, Mango Heist. Eduardus, hello. El Lebanur, hello. First time here and direct. I'd like to apply for Top Step. No, that's not. You don't have to buy any of this applying to Top Step or joining Top Step. Lee, this platform is TS Trader, and it comes free with the trading combine if you choose to opt in to join the trading combine. Good afternoon, Bill. Good afternoon, Joe Spencer. Bradley, Joe D, good afternoon. Thank you, Bradley. Weak low in the profile definitely doesn't look like finished business. I would agree with that, Spencer. So where do we get in? Where are we trying to get into this continuation move to the downside? If we do it now, we're selling the dead ass low. 39.6275 was the low of 11.22. We've got points of control that remain unchecked just below that. I'm going to put that up here now. Finamami says you'd rather buy from a little lower. I would go along with that. Here's weekly kickoff low, which is basically this naked point of control here. Volume, naked point of control here. Here's the low from the 22nd, of course, that was just mentioned. Certainly not looking like we've got a finished downside auction here, as Spencer mentioned. We've got a weak low here. But where to get in if we're going to be looking for the market to continue lower? What to do? Where to get in? Hey, Keith. I would be. Keith says short the breakout of the current low with limited risk. Are we thinking about trying to get closer to a low volume node, maybe up here to look for a short, or maybe even up here to look for a short? I want to restart this. I'm going to reboot this platform here a little bit so we can make sure we're seeing the right things. So yeah, we've got very low volume up here. Do we look for an opportunity to get up here? Anybody interested in chatting today, you can let me know either in the chat room or you can just raise your hand as a participant. We can certainly... There's a name I haven't seen in a while. Frank Solozzi. It's good to see you, Frank. I haven't seen you in years. I wonder if Fred Decker's going to come in. I think Fred Decker might remember you, Frank. I'm sure Fred remembers you. I'm surprised he's not here today, but I will make sure and let him know that you were here, and if you're going to be hanging around, it'll be like getting the band back together. Spencer agrees time-based stop-based. Whoop, there it goes. All right, now we're moving. So Joe was talking about finding out getting a pullback to look for an opportunity to look for a short. I'm inclined to agree with that, but we're not getting much of a pullback here, right? Ben's saying buy it asymmetric. Around 74. That's a much friendlier number for a short JM. I'm inclined to agree with that. Ben always looking for the asymmetric trade. I think we may be a little late to the party for that. Alessandro. Here, you can join on Zoom. Here, if you'd like. At least then you get to vote. There it is. It's in your chat there in the YouTube chat. So we're still really not getting much of a bounce. There we go. Now we're getting a little bounce. See, when the market's directional like this, I've had some success in looking for opportunities when the market pulls back to low volume nodes to use those low volume nodes as resistance. We're getting not much of a pullback off these lows here. And it's so much easier to buy it when it's low than it is to sell it when it's low. VIX finally perking up. Hello, Michael. Still waiting for anybody that wants to join me in conversation. Nobody is, of course, forced to. Welcome, Alessandro, to the Zoom meeting. James, good afternoon. I know that, James. That's what I'm looking for, is a rundown towards that weekly kickoff low, 39.54, which would be a nice move. But like everybody, I get this feeling like I'm barking up the FOMO tree if I try and catch a short here. I want to find a decent pullback against some perhaps low volume with which to lean on. We had suggestions to look for longs on an asymmetric opportunity. We're very little risk down here if we were to do that. Low from the 22nd. Naked points of control down below. One time framing activity. Yep, 54. That's exactly what I'm looking at for this market to go to, and we're just not getting a pullback to let us in. Keith says, yeah, take a long near 54. If we get down there, that's certainly something I would be looking at. Well, NASDAQ already down below weekly kickoff low. I don't know. I feel like I'm FOMO. We just sold the low of the day. We're more than twice the IB. We are beyond the second standard deviation of VWAP. There it is. Feeling the pressure to do something, and we just sold a low tick. Come on, take it out. Alessandro, sure. Promoting you to panelist. Joe, do you want to talk? Here we go. All right, we got a couple of folks. Somebody new, Alessandro, welcome. And then we got Joe coming in.
Hey, John.
How are you? Thank you, James. I understand.
Very well, thank you.
Doing good. It's good to hear from you. Good to have you here.
I was wondering what made you go short now?
Because we've been looking for a pullback to where we may find a low volume node, which we've been struggling to find on the way down. But right now we have one. This low volume node. And just to do something. I know it says we're not going to trade just to trade.
I just got out. I've been short all day.
Good for you.
Yeah, I shorted at the open and closed at 67.50.
Nice trade.
I wouldn't exclude going back short, but I would do that on a pullback.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. And my FOMO got the best of me, so we sold the low tick and we're still hanging there. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Hoag.
How's it going?
Going fine. You have more courage than I have. And I'm rooting for you.
I was looking for a pullback. We couldn't get one.
Well, doesn't mean you have to take it.
That's true. But Ben is saying time stop and reverse. So we do have a little bit of a low volume node here, which is what I was looking for to lean on.
And where's your stop?
I just put one in at 66 quarter.
Well, we've had some pretty heavy liquidity levels on the way down here since we signed on. And, sometimes they pull them, sometimes they trade them. And so far they've been trading. So they've been going through them like a knife through butter, but they're not pulling them, they're buying them.
Look at the negative delta. 18,000 negative.
Isn't your stop a little bit tight?
It is, but only because we sold the low tick, and I'm depending on this low volume node right here to act as resistance. I don't want price to go back up above that. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty tight. But if I'm looking at 54 is the TPO weekly kickoff low, naked point of control. If traders are focusing on that, we could get there, but it's only, it's only 9 points of risk. So I don't want to risk a lot, and this low volume node allows me the opportunity to limit that risk.
If it actually does some pullback, it's quite easy for it to go back to 66 quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, of course it is, because we're short in the hole. No, Zach, I mean, it's not a 3.9 point ratio to reward over risk is not too tight, depending on the situation. So now we're in that low volume node. We'll see what happens. I'm okay if we take a small loss here. I mean, I knew I was selling it in the hole to begin with.
And you say that holes in volume act as support or resistance?
Yeah. Yeah, and only in directional moves. When the market is directional, do I sometimes use these low volume nodes as resistance or support, depending on direction. So, I mean, it's been kind of struggling to get up through there. It's kind of filling it in, but it's still showing it somewhat as resistance.
And have you considered trading other underlyings as well during make-up money?
I'm sorry?
Have you considered trading other underlyings, other contract as well, make-up money?
Like?
Natural gas, gold.
Natural gas scares me. Yeah, I mean, I would consider adding other contracts to make HOAG money. The kind of issue is we get too many contracts. It's going to be too much to look at. I would consider adding a contract that I thought was primed for a bigger move. But then again, these are more of your trades. Everybody was kind of thinking, well, we're looking for opportunities to get short, so I just took one. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the feedback I'm looking for as we find traders that are looking to see other products. Gold is a good one because it's open long before we have the time to get into Make HOAG Money on the early sessions. Tomorrow, Make HOAG Money is at 8:20. We're considering changing that to 9:30 so that we get that first hour of trade underway to look for opportunities. There's a million ways we can do this, right? We're trying to figure out the most interesting ways, right? If we were to be trading gold now, for all intents and purposes, it's closed. Crude oil, the same thing. The regular trading hours are closed before 2:00. We just get here at 2:00, and unfortunately, today and the last week, I think we had one good trade at the 2:00 session, and we didn't do anything the other 2:00 session.
HOAG, it's Joe.
Hey, Joe.
I didn't want to interrupt you. You were talking, but I'm that little rally we just had at 2:20 Central.
Mm-hmm.
I shorted 2 contracts.
Oh, okay.
I'm short at 2 3/4. On 2 contracts with a stop to get me risk neutral if I can get it. So anyway, I didn't want to interrupt you. So
Not at all.
I'm coming saying I'm ahead of the game here. I'm not trying to do that.
No.
I just did.
You got more of that pullback to that low volume node than I did.
I shorted as well that river rally when I saw some inversion candlestick pattern on the 1-minute chart. So I shorted at 63 and I put my stop at 66.25.
Okay. Oh, we're cooking. Well, sort of.
Okay, I'm risk neutral now. I just covered 1 contract, so I'll leave my stop at break even until I get to my target. And
what's your target, Joe?
My target is 52 3/4. So I'll leave some for the sweeper, so make it a couple ticks before that.
All righty.
And I try to discipline myself to just go to target. If I don't get a target, then I come back, I get stopped at risk neutral and say la vie. That's what I try to do.
That's good.
But I'm risk neutral, so I'm relaxed now, basically.
Yeah. Well, now you don't have to worry. You just watch, see what happens, huh?
Yeah.
And how would you choose your target, Tom?
Well, the target I have is this naked point of control from right here. I think it's 54.
57 something.
54 quarter. This is the volume point of control from that same day. So that's like, it's about 57 half. But I'm going to see if we can squeak down and just go back and retest this naked TPO point of control. TPO point of control. Say that 5 times fast. TPO point of control. TPO point of control. So I don't know that we're going to get it. The market seems to be focusing down to that level. It is an important level in longer time frame. It's the last point of control before we start to really, I think, push longer time frame traders into this. Not seeing necessarily that there's a lot of long time frame participation in this move to the downside, as Delta has been increasing in negativity the whole way down. So there's no fight going on here. It's all active time frames acting in concert.
And what makes you choose the TPO point of control as opposed to the volume point of control as a target?
Because it's more my way. Because I don't know, the TPO point of control has been my tool for 30 years. Volume point of control is nice. It's good in certain situations. And it may not get to the TPO point of control. I don't know. If I had multiples on, I probably would take some off at the volume point of control. Which is what, about 2-to-1 reward over risk. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what it looks like if and when we get there.
I usually put my targets near the volume point of control. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I find consistency is good, right? We know that there's a target down there somewhere. Or at least we believe that there is. Ben and Michael both saying new TPO here. Let's see what happens. Alejandro, you were going to say something?
I was saying a couple of things. One is that I put my target at 57.50 near the volume point of control. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is that what I've found since I started creating multiple contracts at one time, I find that more relaxing because my risk is spread across more than one position.
Yep, I get that. Unless it goes straight to your stop, then you're screwed.
Oh, no, if it goes straight to the stop on all positions, yes. But that's more, I mean, it's more difficult, let's say. It's less likely that all positions go wrong at the same time.
Poor low now. Ben, you think we're getting too short here?
Well, Hoag, I made 3 points on the first contract, and I just moved my second contract to break even. There's a big level at 60. So far, they've been going through it pretty easily, but it's pretty heavy level.
Yeah.
So you think we should pull our stop down to break even? We do have a low volume node between here and there.
we're getting late in the day, and I always worry about that very, very aggressive
Wicked pullback.
out of the blue stop run. Yeah, exactly. That just takes you out. So
So
we're
yeah,
3:30
right,
Eastern right now.
right. Yeah, we're getting pretty long in the tooth here, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I did move the stop down to break even, something I don't usually do, but I wasn't all that impressed with this trade location anyway. Because I'm thinking the same thing Joe is. We whirl this thing around for a pop. We'll be moving quick.
And especially late in the day, if they don't work right off, sometimes I find you better off going to break even, which is what I'm at. 3 points in the first contract, break even on this one.
I hear what you're saying there, James. Negative 18,000 delta. Aren't they going to unravel soon? And they might be doing that now, but pretty much all of those shorts are sitting profitable.
I moved my stop at break even, so I am out. I was hit.
We got within a tick.
Well, this is the stop run I've been looking for on I look at the NYSE tick indicator,
Okay.
and when you get a it's $ TICK, and when it gets to a certain point, it what I call it extreme. That's the signal that I would take to short, which is what I've been looking for, and we just got it about a minute ago. This run right here, we just got it. I'm not going to take it only because we're just so late in the day, and this could keep going. But that's what I was looking for when you signed on. I was looking for this. This is the kind of run I was looking for.
Understood.
If I gotten this earlier, I would have taken it. Although I did take one that wasn't quite as extreme as this, and it worked. So far, it's worked. Although I'm close to getting stopped out on my second contract, but I'm in the money because of the first contract.
Right. Yeah, we're out. We got stopped out.
We're out. Okay. Well, I just got within.
We got stopped out to the tick. Nope, didn't lose any money. Equals winning. Yeah, we lost about 1,000 in delta. Risk the low. All right, Ben. We're long. We're risking the low. Let's see what happens. We have 3 points of risk through the low. We got a nice long here. Got a poor low. Yeah, we saw that. Getting a rip.
How do you define poor low? I remember you mentioned this several times.
So anytime there's exactness at the low, this is a period took one look below L period and then left it there. So it's an unfinished downside auction. It's a weak low that's not likely to hold. However, there are times when a weak or poor low like this can indicate that the market has gotten too short in short time frame, and you might get the push in the opposite direction. No, Joe was talking. I was thinking, are we going to get a vicious pullback off this low at some point today? We've been pretty much one time framing lower. We've got very negative delta. Joe was talking of there's who was that? James was talking about a lot of negative delta. If that negative delta starts to kind of unravel, there are going to be buyers. So we're kind of looking at this poor low in longer time frame as an unfinished downside auction, but in short time frame potential that we've gotten too short in short time frame. And in short time frame, we're talking about the traders that are holding shorts that are going home flat at the end of the day today. If there's enough of them, we could see a pretty decent pullback. There's a nice little anomaly up here that just looks tasty for us to go back and recheck. Now,
And where would you set your target?
Setting my target really at this anomaly. We're looking at 73.50. Because this anomaly is in profile indicating a lack of conviction and confidence in the downside move. It's similar to a poor low. It's marking that the market was not confident enough to keep from creating this little anomaly, this little one tick, one TPO thing sticking out up here. So if we do get a decent pullback, this looks like a really good visual target because anomalies, weak highs, weak lows, all of those are eyesores, right? I mean, this doesn't really fit this area of short time frame balance we're trying to create here.
The market was very generous today. I don't think I'm doing any other trade.
No, if you caught a bulk of this downside move, I'd say you were sitting pretty nice. No reason to do anything that you're just to do it, right?
And earlier you said that the natural gas scares you. What scares you about the natural gas?
Well, it's very volatile. There's a lot of ticks involved in that range. I don't even trade the NASDAQ because the NASDAQ gives me heart palpitations.
$65 has a large liquidity level, and they had one there on the way down also.
Now they're coming batted the other direction, huh?
Yep, they've refilled it.
Forgive me for 1 minute, gentlemen. I got to mute for 1 second.
Yeah. Are you still in, Joe?
What's that?
Are you still in the trade?
I'm still, yes, I am. I came within a half a point of being stopped out, but I'm still in it. Looks like I'm gonna get taken out here right now. Not yet. There I go.
All right, I'm back. I can't.
And
Yeah.
I got stopped on my second contract. I'm now long one contract.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get up to our little anomaly there. Is there an impetus to get back to value by end of day? I don't know. The only impetus I could think of is if we are really short time frame for that to happen. Now we start stacking up some TPOs here, value may come to us. In general, do I think about that? No, not really. Only if it starts to happen. If we start taking out these single TPOs, then something may have changed. Returning back into value and taking out these single TPOs might mean something.
Is that liquidity? We're at that liquidity level.
66.
They haven't pulled it 65 to 66, and they keep filling it up. There it goes. It's gone now.
What's the next level?
67.
Are they there?
67 just pulled. 66 just refilled. They're pulling it. They pulled it.
Keep pulling it. Move it up.
It's gone 67, 67 quarter, 67 three quarters.
Yes, trade in closer. Late day trading. Yeah, we're doing make HOAG money at 2 to 3 on Monday and Wednesday, and 8:20 to 9:20 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thinking about moving the time around a little bit. We were short initially when we put in the low, and we got stopped out at break even. Now we're long at 62.50, and we're looking for a price to come back up to this little anomaly right up here. See, value is already moving toward us in TPO. There it is again. Move down again. Wonder why we don't have any volume there. I'm going to reboot this again. Watch just for a second. There it is.
How do you like trading the 10-year bond?
I never really traded the treasuries. Too slow for me. I don't like them too fast or don't like them too fast or too slow. The S&Ps have been, I've been trading them for 35, 25 years, so it's the thing I know the most.
Were you in the S&P pit, HOAG?
Yeah. Yeah, almost all the pictures you see of me on the trading floor were in the S&P pit. Martin, if you want to reboot TS Trader, just click on it and then hit F5 on your keyboard. That'll reboot it. Ben says move the stop to +1. Dun, dun, dun. We'll make sure we'll get stopped out. If you have a keyboard, that line across the top with all the F numbers, if you just click F5, that'll reboot the platform.
1 minute candlestick chart is giving a reversal signal, like bearish signal.
On where?
On the 1 minute candlestick.
You mean this one? Bearish,
Yeah.
bearish engulfing pattern.
If I didn't have a very profitable day, I might have.
You might have shorted that.
Rally.
Well, we're getting a pullback now. Boy, look at all that delta that went away. Those sellers up there, that liquidity that Joe was talking about, those were real sellers.
And they're still there.
Yeah, we just dropped 6,000 in negative delta up against those.
65 to 66 and 3/4. And nothing below. So this thing looks lower.
We just got stopped out at +1. How do we figure the entry at 2, at 62? Just because we were thinking maybe we were a little too short in the hole here, and we were able to limit our risk to 3 points for a potential 6-point profit. So we've had a short on, we got stopped out at break even. We've had a long on, we got stopped out at +1. This is exciting trading, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best of it. Starting to jump around. What's our end of day MOCs? 320 million to the sell side is what we're seeing in tick and financial juice. I don't know how right they are.
Yeah, I get stopped out of my long also.
Yeah, we're just chopping around here, aren't we?
Yeah.
We just did, yeah. We start.
Now those are working hard now.
Yeah.
That's the MOC right there.
Mm-hmm. Started adding more negative delta now again. So Ben still likes to look for the long, risking the low. I think
They're running those shorts now.
yeah. I think we're sucking wind now. It could, Zach, play out for tomorrow because it's currently excess above price. So we open lower, we get back up to these single TPOs. They could provide opportunity. Jay Gilmo, that's absolutely right. Once everyone thinks it's going to go lower, it's going to go higher. Reminds me of what my dear old dad used to say. The market always looks the best at the top and the worst at the bottom. No late spike to deal with yet. No, nothing yet.
Market's an equal opportunity dream killer.
Absolutely. Always goes to the point of greatest aggravation.
You often say that if you look for trades, you're eventually going to find some.
Yes. Yep, that is true. And that's exactly what I kind of think we were doing here in Make HOAG Money, just to make it interesting, trying to find something. And we've been in an 8-point range since we got here. We haven't really done much of anything. And it's not always going to be that way. There are going to be some fun opportunities, I think, in the evening Make HOAG Money, but we'll have to shoot for tomorrow morning. I don't think we're going to do anything else today. Here we are.
Refilling 66.
So we've lost approximately 7,000 delta since we were at the low. We certainly have some short covering going on here, but looks like we're kind of running into some ice orders here.
Yeah, they bought all at 66.
Watch and see. By the end of the day, we get back to this anomaly, I'll eat my hat. Yeah. All right. I think we're going to be calling this a Make HOAG Money. Thank you all for joining us. Joining me. Thanks for your help, Alessandro, Joe D, everybody that had the comments, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on the, well, I'll be doing the recap here just a few minutes after the Make HOAG Money, but otherwise I'll see you tomorrow for the forecast and the early session of Make HOAG Money. We'll see what we can find then.
Thank you, Hope.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great one.